Welcome to my channel. Read along with me. Today we are reading distinction number 3. Millionaires have multiple sources of income. The middle class has only one or two. Let's compare dollars to fish. Would a fisherman catch more fish if he had two lines in the water? Of course. There is a greater possibility that he would. What if he had 5 lines in the water? It's easy to see that the more lines he has in the water, the more fish he has the possibility of catching. Money is like that. The more sources of income you can develop, the more likely it is you will become a millionaire. For every millionaire who has achieved her wealth doing only one thing, there are a dozen others who become financially free by combining several forms of income. Passive income. The trick to developing multiple sources of income is to focus on making them passive income. By passive, I don't mean you won't have to work. I mean they require little maintenance and management from you personally. Many millionaires have the ability to put together teams that can run their businesses better than they could do it on their own. People in the middle class have a difficult time with the idea of multiple sources of income because they think they must do everything themselves. They believe that you must do everything yourself puts extreme limits on your financial potential. Having a belief that no one can do it all as well as you is arrogance. The world is full of talented people. Millionaires have a different belief. They believe they can find someone who can do it not only as well as they can, but even better. What a contrast. Build a team. Millionaires have also developed the special skill of getting people to work well together, which pays handsomely. It is a skill, however, that takes time to develop. It is the ability to get people to embrace another's differences and to assign the right person to the right position. Many companies struggle simply because they have the wrong people in the wrong positions. Getting people to work well together means you must develop an atmosphere of trust. Millionaires build team of people who complement one another, not compete with one another. When you have team members who compete with one another, it is difficult to get them to trust one another. There is no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. People who trust one another can accomplish far more than any one person could on his or her own. In order to develop trust within your team, you must establish a code of honor. A code of honor is a set of multiple rules that everyone is committed to playing by. If you are in early stages of putting together a team, it is beneficial to let the team develop the code. If you bring in a team member after the code has been developed, then the new member must agree to play by the rules or he or she doesn't get the job. If someone does anything against the code, then it is the team's responsibility to call him or her on it. The power of code of honor is only effective if people are questioned when they violate it. What good is code if you are not going to enforce it? When building a team, everyone must be willing to accept corrections from other team members. If team members get angry or offended when corrected, then they must change their attitude or leave the team. Anger has no place in winning team. Anger is a sign of arrogance. There is a power in humility, and teams that develop humble attitude will accomplish great things. Millionaires bring spirit of humility to their teams because they are humble themselves. To be humble is to be teachable. Millionaires are always open to learning better ways to run their businesses. Millionaires understand that the sales equals become income, but massive income equals having a team built on foundation of trust. Practice intentional congruence. Let's look at a term I learned from my mentor Nido Coben, intentional congruence. It is the essence of how to create successful multiple sources of income. Intentional means doing something on purpose, a planned event, a thought out action. Congruence means connected. Alignment, agreement, things work well together. Intentional congruence is practiced by the very wealthy. It is methodical planning. The power of intentional congruence is getting each source of passive income to support others. When you first start a new source of income, you must focus on it. Focus is a power, and all millionaires possess this power. There are two ways you need to focus in order to put intentional congruence to work in your life. You must focus like a laser on specific parts of the big pictures of your life, and you must learn to focus like a spotlight on the entire big picture. Anyone can focus on one thing. It requires the powerful person to focus on the big picture and get all the parts working together. Having multiple sources of passive income that have nothing to do with one another is still better than having only one or two sources. However, learning to build passive income streams that feed one another will make you much more money over time. Back to the fisherman. It is easy to see how four or five lines in the water will catch more fish than just one. What happens with intentional congruence is even better than multiple lines in the water. Intentional congruence is having a net. I ask you, who is going to catch more fish? The fisherman who uses individual lines or the ones who uses a net? Intentional congruence connects each business you are involved in and assists each one in making more money. The concept of intentional congruence is first and foremost intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. If you currently have one source of income and want to start another source, then make sure the new source of income supports the first, and make sure the first source can support the new one. Do they help promote each other? Can your primary source of income do business with your secondary or third? Do they lend credibility to each other? Can the customers from your primary source also become customers of your new endeavor? Intentional congruence requires serious thought. It takes people time to develop businesses that are congruent with each other. Over time, intentional congruence will work miracles in your financial life. The middle class believe that if you attempt to build multiple sources of income, you will spread yourself too thin. Once again, that's because they think they must do it themselves. If a middle class person has become more than one source of income, it is usually a second job where he or she does the work, and you can bet it is probably not intentionally connected to the first job. If you focus on passive sources of income, build a team, and practice intentional congruence, it is impossible to spread yourself too thin. You must be careful, however, not to let the middle class mindset keep you from taking action and trying new things. Passive income, teams, and intentional congruence are three strand cord that is not easily broken. They build a strong financial life. Millionaires have multiple sources of income. The middle class has only one or two. This is day 8 of this series. We are going to read the book, The Top 10 Distinctions Between Millionaires and the Middle Class. We have only 2 days remaining, so tomorrow we will meet again. Bye from Read Along with Me.